I'm a mess. I'm really tired too, but I wanted to come on and talk about this energy. I'm not really worried so much about what I look like or any of that stuff. So I'm going to wait just a few moments for people to get onto the chat before I start. Hello, hello. How are you doing? How is everybody doing? I have a lot to share, so I hope that everyone is comfortable with maybe your favorite beverage, because we're in for a ride. Well, we have been, but let me tell you, I'm feeling it. Hi, Martin. First time I got a notification. Yay. Friendly Martian greetings. Hello, hello. Yeah, I actually want to talk about the airwaves, the Aquarius energy, but later on. And definitely there's been a lot of disruptions and changes, and then things work and then they don't work in all kinds of technology and in the airwaves of communication. And it's been very interesting. I have a lot to share with you all, so I hope that you are ready for what I'm about to unpack. And I also invite you to reflect on your life experience. We're going to go backwards in time to 2008, when Pluto first moved into Capricorn. And I have to say, whenever I'm doing write-ups on astrological events and energy changes, and I come across really big changes in energy and from the transits, which are really like sacred geometry, these geometric shapes that each planet, the angles that each planet forms with each other. I reflect back. I have an iPhone, so I reflect back into my photos. Going back, I went back to 2008 and really got a great snapshot of, well, actually, and journals, because I don't have a whole lot of photos from 2008 on my photos, but let's see what you're saying. Heavy energy, Plutonic, Saturnian. Yes, all building. All big. Yes, very big, huge. We're all feeling it, and we're feeling the Capricorn energy in a big way. I've had a lot of dreams, and they've been very informative, as well as what I get in my airwaves a lot of times is songs, and I look up the lyrics because there are big messages in the songs. And I did write down the song that has been playing in my head for the last almost 2 weeks now, repetitively, like constantly. And I thought it was my dad signaling me, but actually it's Pluto. I believe it's actually Pluto that this information's coming from. So I'm going to just get started now. So I'm going to take you back to 2008, when Pluto entered Capricorn. And anytime when Pluto enters a sign, this is our transformative, need a new playlist? Okay, this is weird because right now it was showing me that there were a bunch of people on here, and now it's showing me there's nobody on here. So I don't know if I'm being fooled or tricked, or if I lost connection here. So give me a little thumbs up if you're there. Okay, now it's starting to come back. I'm still being played around with too, and I'm not gonna let it bother me, because this will be this video will be saved anyway. So let me know if you are there and you can hear me okay before I dive into this. Yes, no, maybe so. And I do have a delay on my end too. So lives are always fun that way. You never know what you're going to get. All right. Well, for the sake of not wasting too much time here for a thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So Pluto entered Capricorn in 2008. I can reflect on 2008 very easily because that was a huge, big, transformative time in my life right from the get-go. However, I wasn't fully aware of how intensely and how deeply things were going to change in the last 16 years. Now I have a good idea exactly why things happened the way they happened, and what we're all meant to really learn from this, and what Pluto is asking us to transform. So whenever Pluto moves into a sign, Pluto orbits the sun. Its orbit is 248 years. So it spends anywhere from 11 to 30 years, give or take, in a sign, depending on its retrograde cycle. So there's a big, it's not like Mercury, right? But when Pluto enters into a new sign, it is, where am I going to begin here? When Pluto enters into a sign, it tends to take things from the beginning to the end to a very unhealthy degree point, a very unhealthy stage of evolution. So entering into Capricorn, Pluto takes us through that energy and intensifies it to the point where it's too much. It's too much and it's too unhealthy. So Capricorn energy is the structured, it can be it's our structures, it's our discipline, it can be very rigid, and not so much feeling, not so much taking emotion into the equation, not so much taking in even health into the equation. It's all about, let's build this, let's make this, let's do this. And when it moved into Capricorn, we certainly started to experience that, especially if you look at capitalism and the workforce, especially in the United States, the energy of making money over the expense of other people's emotions, other people's health, over the environment of the planet, over the wellness of the animals and the air and the water and all of these things. It took this energy to an extreme. Hi, Steph. Hello. And we're still in this. We're in this extreme. Here we are. We're seeing it. And if you can reflect back 2008 until this point, the last 16 years, we have culminated into an extremely unhealthy experience of Capricorn. Taking it to a very unhealthy state. Too much of Capricorn energy. And it indicates to us what we need to do to bring things into balance. Purify the energy so it can be experienced in a healthier way. Pluto entering Capricorn was brought us to a very too structured, too rigid, too serious, not honoring emotions, as I was saying, ruthless, unfeeling, cold, harsh. As well as, we found ourselves trying to create or build something in our lives, whether it be a career or a family or a relationship or something in our lives. but being too harsh on ourselves, being too harsh on others, and things end up falling apart because it's built on faulty foundation. It's built on it's too much. This is Pluto energy, too much. We're not robots. I think that's what we are finding out more and more. I'm seeing this so much more in the people that I'm working with and on social media and just through the collective energy, that it's becoming too much. People are burnt out. People are exhausted, and they're not taking their energy into the equation, their health, their emotions, their relationships into the equation. It's sink or swim kind of mentality. Satanic. Yeah, it can very much seem satanic. And I'll get to that because the song that's been playing in my head, it's a Beatles song. I will read those lyrics. So I'm going to go through the energy real quick. I have a lot, a lot of notes here, but we are closing out. The new moon is always new energy, a new push, a new, could be new ideas. We're closing out an old chapter. We're finishing up a karmic cycle. And this new moon opens us up to 2024, which is big changes. This is a fated timeline. So as I was speaking in some of my other videos, life is ever flowing, and it's always up to us, our choices and decisions. But there are certain points in time, points in the zodiac, points in the cosmos where we have fated events, and this is one of them. The new moon in Capricorn at 20 degrees is activating, and I will tell you exactly what it's activating. So we're going to go back again to between January and April of 2020, which was a rare and very challenging astrological alignment. Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter conjunction in Capricorn. And they were all around the same degree point of 20 degrees. The same degree point as this new moon is, 20 degrees Capricorn. And it was challenging the structures and directions of our lives, realizing that we needed to make big, huge changes to end the things that hadn't been working for us for years in order to move in a more positive direction. That was a really intense transit, by the way. Empathy for sure. It seems like most of the collective are okay with being hybridized into cyborgs, empaths. Yeah. I always hold hope. Things are, and it's generational also. Pluto is very generational, but it is collective as well. So we're activating again that energy of the Jupiter-Pluto Saturn conjunction in 2020, January to April of 2020. So if you want to write that down, you're going to reflect back on that point in time for you. We really needed to make some kind of changes in order for us to move in a positive direction. And then by April of 2022, this is another activation. Hi, Darren. This is another activation of this new moon energy. Your readings have been so helpful for the last few days. Thank you so much. Oh, you're welcome. Doing the best I can. Yes, I know. We're all doing the best that we can. And you may feel really tired and burnt out, and I'll explain as to why. So we're moving into the next activation point of this new moon of energy, April of 2022. That was the new moon solar eclipse in Taurus, activating the North Node in Taurus, helping us in moving things forward in order for new things to grow, feeling more secure and confident, experienced, as long as we have made the big changes back in January 2020, between January and April of 2020. We were finding more of a flow, but many people were still stuck, because I'll get to that as well. We had a lot of skipped steps. Pluto squaring the nodes, as well as now this new moon in Capricorn squaring the north and south node of the moon. Also, speaking of things that we skipped over, things that we brushed under the rug, things that we did not fully acknowledge and work through. hoping that it just would go away or get better. So around April of 2022, helping us move things forward in order for things to move and grow, feeling more secure, feeling more confident and experienced, as long as we had worked through some of those things in January of 2020. Then also in April, we had a few weeks later, we had the full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio, activating the south node in Scorpio. And this was extremely challenging, highlighting what's no longer working or what's no longer useful for us. This can be our tendencies, our patterns, and things that we really had to work through. We were indulging too many negative emotions. We had way too many knee-jerk reactions, relationship entanglements, codependencies, and things like that. Possibly also spending or losing too much money. There were a lot of big realizations that took all of 2022 to really work through and figure out or realize fully. So 2022 was definitely a big learning year. Then January, another activation point, January of 2023. Mars and Mercury are now retrograde, and we start to realize more of our unhealthy patterns and things that we needed to let go of or release or work through that we had skipped over. By February and March of 2023, Pluto moved into Aquarius just for a little bit. Saturn moved into Pisces. This is another big shift that we experienced, and changes in our lives began to really show. And we started to see a new story. We started to get a glimmer of a new story for ourselves. However, you see a lot of back and forth energy that we've swam through, and give yourself a pat on the back for going through all of this energy, this Capricorn, Pluto and Capricorn energy. No joke. And I'm not even done here. True. How many Saturn returns do we experience in a human lifespan? 3, maybe 4 if we're into behaviors regarding longevity. Yeah, I feel like this is even bigger than a Saturn return as well. This was just galactic. It felt like, we'll wait until we get into Aquarius energy. So by April of last year, 2023, we had the new moon solar eclipse in Aries. We were really trying to make a new start, a new beginning in our life. We were just really still pushing ourselves through. We were realizing things and doing some emotional healing. By May and June of 2023, Venus went retrograde then in Leo. Do you remember that one? That was very challenging personally for all of us because Venus is a personal planet. So we're feeling stuck again in old patterns, needing to slow down, unable to progress, unable to receive joy and happiness and fun. And it just felt like we're going backwards yet again. By December of last year, Mercury went retrograde in Sagittarius. More confusion about the future, our direction, what to do, who we are. But now we're honoring our emotions after that Venus retrograde. We began to really honor our emotions more and our heart. But there was still confusion as to what to do next, where to start, where to go, and the how. Mercury just went direct a few weeks ago, and it'll be out of post shadow very soon in the next few days. So more clarity. We've received more clarity on our direction and what we want to do next. What it is where we want to take our lives, where we want to put our attention and our focus. And it will become clearer and clearer as we progress forward. So here we are at the new moon in Capricorn just yesterday on 1/11. How do we use this clarity, this new clarity, right? To take steps, to take our next steps into moving forward with our life that's more structured, more disciplined, more practical, more strategic, more Capricorn, so that we can receive the results that we desire and sustain them for the long haul, right? Something new, something different. This new moon in Capricorn is in an exact square to the north and south node of the moon, as I was saying. North node in Aries, south node in Libra, all at 20 degrees, exact square. Yeah, Mercury's in shadow, but it's just a couple more days. I would say by the 16th, don't quote me on this, but maybe the 16th, 17th, something like that. I don't know if this book actually says it or not. Let me just check. Sometimes, this is a really amazing book. It's more of a local, but it's called Wee Moon. We'll give like the pre and post shadow. No, I'm not seeing it, so I'm gonna just keep going here. Oops. Okay, back to the new moon in Capricorn, exact square to the north and south node of the moon, and squares are challenges. They are difficult. They are emotional. We're retracing our life back to re-experiencing skipped steps, things that we still did not fully work through and acknowledge. Either did not acknowledge at all, did not work through it all, or we just did a little bit. And really with the skipped steps, we have to actually face these things, our fears, our insecurities, our patterns, our unhealthy lifestyles, our unhealthy belief systems, what's not working, right? What needs to change in order for our lives to flow smoother and better. When we really need to fully address and make changes, make course corrections, even if it's just in a perspective, which for a lot of people, that's exactly what needs to change. They're still stuck in the old model, in the old way of thinking. The Capricorn, the old way of being and thinking, even if there's a newer, rejuvenated realization, there's still some old patterns and old belief systems that are stuck there. And this takes time, it really does. It takes time, and it takes trial and error, and we really have to just put in the steps, put in the work, and give things a try until and being very present, putting down the cell phone every now and then, and being present with life and picking up on the universal signs and what life is really showing us. It will speak to us. There is consciousness in everything, so you will receive communication through technology, but you have to be extremely discerning to actually know what you're receiving is accurate for you. Anyway, let me get back to this. So if we are not facing what we had skipped over, we will find ourselves stuck once again and unable to progress until we fully address the issues we're faced with and make these necessary changes. We tend to skip over these things because of fear and confusion. There's been a lot of confusion. Not knowing what to do is a big one because the outside world is showing things as being one way, and it's showing that Pluto and Capricorn for most of us. Instead, we end up breezing by these things, hoping that they'll just go away. When no, Pluto is going to continue. Whenever a planet is squaring the north and south node, it's going to bring it right back to us all over again. The Capricorn steps that we face once again that had been skipped would be something we build. It's something that we want to build, something that's long-standing, something that's structured, something that is going to stand the test of time for us, Hi, Patsy. We do now have more clarity on our ideas. We have more clarity on what we want to do and where we want to go and how we want things to be. We do want to take these ideas and our visions and build them in a more serious and disciplined Capricorn strategic way. But we may still feel stuck in doing so regarding how's it going to happen? How am I going to do this? Right? And also, there's probably a lot of frustration in not progressing fast enough, or progressing in the way that we'd like it to. We still are kind of stuck in this, I want this to go my way. I want this to go the way that things will always go, or the way I see it going for other people, when really life is going to flow us in that direction. We have to get into the energy of allowing and receiving as well. We're really pushing through this Capricorn energy at the 29th degree. It's intense. And I even find myself still having to slow down and stop being so hard. We're being really hard on ourselves right now. Many of us still, even though we may know better, we're being really difficult and hard on ourselves. We can say go with the flow all we want, but check in with those patterns that are being hard. Especially, I know for myself, when I'm hard on myself is when I have things scheduled for a certain time. And suddenly time speeds up and I'm like, oh my God, it's time. I'm not ready yet, kind of thing. The grand occult, a system of symbols and illustrated, hidden in plain sight. Oh, so much is hidden in plain sight. It's crazy. There's a shadow side to everything, definitely. And trust me when I say a paradigm shift is coming. I will tell you how I know this to be true once I get through this astrology, because and where we're being squeezed through the very last degree of Capricorn for not much longer. We only have like 8 more days before Pluto moves into Aquarius. So we have more clarity on our ideas, on like what it is we want to do, or where we want to go, these visions, these ideas. We want to build them. We want to be more serious. We want to be more disciplined. We want to be more Capricorn, strategic. We're stuck in regarding on the how. Probably feel frustrated in how things are not progressing in the way we'd like to. But are we being too serious? Are we being too hard on ourselves? Are we being too rigid? Our energy is split. And this is why the new moon is also in a square to Chiron in Aries. Another difficult alignment to navigate through. We face our fears, we face our insecurities, we face triggers and difficulties with this energy. Also our vulnerabilities. Aries energy is fiery, it's passionate. It doesn't want to be strategic. It does not want to be disciplined. It just wants to go. It's impatient. It's beautiful, but Chiron in Aries is like, it wants to be free. So we have this split in our energy collectively. And the more, it wants to be more in the moment, passionate, not as serious, not as disciplined, not as strategic as the Capricorn energy. So the Aries part of us just wants to follow that fiery passion inside of us. So this split in energy can sometimes feel very depleting and defeating. It may lead to feeling burnout, not in balance. Being too serious, as well as being too either knee-jerk reactive or too fiery and too passionate, is a lot. It's like black and white. It's such a what's the word? Contrast. So shortly after the new moon, which is like today or tomorrow, the moon is already conjunct Pluto, but it's getting closer to an exact conjunction in the next few days. So this moon in Capricorn, so we'll just take it as the new moon in Capricorn conjunct Pluto, all right? Pluto is connected to the parts of ourselves and our lives where we feel just naturally comfortable and secure in what we're doing. Yet it's not really helping us grow or evolve or change. It's not part of our path anymore. So Pluto's pushing us to change and transform these parts, especially parts we've been stuck in for a long time. This could be relationships. This could be jobs. Again, it could be something that you're trying to build, something you're trying to change. And there's just parts that have been stuck in something that is just so comfortable that it's uncomfortable, but it's comfortable, if that makes sense. Habits that are no longer useful for our growth and our evolution will have to transform. And Pluto's changes are to an extreme degree. If you reflect again to around 2008, or even prior to Pluto moving into Capricorn, what changed in your life to an extreme. I know for myself, there were several things. It was like bam, 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 bam. And it put me on a new track that had me more liberated and free, but then I fell into the Capricorn energy and found myself being way too rigid and hard on myself. And what I was building started to fall. I started to fall apart. Literally, my body, my physical structure fell apart. I ended up having back surgery by 2010. So, Pluto, the cosmic compost bin. Right, we're being hard on ourselves now as Pluto's leaving at the anorectic degree of Capricorn. We're again finding ourselves being very hard on ourselves. 2008, the house bubble popped. Oh, I had a few bubbles pop for myself. But it did liberate me, and I'll explain why. Let me just get through these notes. So that I can have more of a dialogue about all this, because it is exciting to have these, to recognize my patterns, recognize my life path and how Pluto has transformed and changed it, and parts of me that went kicking and screaming, because we humans, especially if you're a fixed sign like me, don't like that abrupt change. Suddenly it's like, oh my God, the world's coming to an end, but it's really not, but it seems that way. So yeah, Pluto's changes really truly are extreme. They are to an extreme degree, especially in Capricorn, being that structured, serious, responsible, our boundaries, all of that, which I definitely had major boundaries crossed for myself when Pluto moved into Capricorn. Pluto can bring up anger, just like, why is it every time that I think that I'm flowing in the right direction and things are going to be moving, you're starting to see like breadcrumbs or seeds start to sprout, and you're like, yeah, and then something comes up or something goes wrong. It's like, it's so frustrating. And I'm only bringing up the frustrating points because this is what I see in the collective right now. Venus in Sagittarius is also in a trine to Chiron. So it's really hard to feel relaxed and at ease when it comes to these new ideas that we are cultivating and exploring and wanting to kind of adventure into. That Chiron energy is bringing up our insecurities and our triggers and all of these things. So it's really hard to relax into the flow. Mercury also squaring Neptune still has us feeling really hazy and disoriented still. I've been having a really difficult time waking up in the mornings, and I blame it on this Mercury squaring Neptune. Sorry guys. I hope that you're still there. Are you still there? I got a phone call, and I don't know why it did that. It totally froze up, and it was spam. So yeah. There are definitely challenges. There are certain energies that don't want the truth to, okay, good, thank you. Don't want the truth to be revealed. Don't want us having these conversations, right? Interestingly enough, oh no, okay, we'll keep going here. I was at Mercury square Neptune, feeling hazy, disoriented, like, yeah, definitely been an interesting ride for sure. So what are all these challenges trying to teach us? What is the lesson here? What is the takeaway from all of this? For me, it was the beginning of a very long, drawn-out breakdown. I woke up yesterday morning with thoughts that I might be have murdered someone. Oh, left me feeling very uneasy. Interesting. I wonder if that's past life stuff. Digging in my heels this year. My daughter, Capricorn sun, and more. 4 planets in Cap, I think. January 2nd, 2008, I had a breakdown. I was 35. Yeah, I'll tell you my experience. I'm just going to give you my personal life here. Might have to do with death or rebirth. Oh, yeah, true. Very true. In 2008, I had worked for a company for a very long time, and I was made the head of the art department. I actually created and designed the entire art department for a printing company from the ground floor up. And I was really proud of all the work that I did. I put a lot of time and energy into it. I was a single mom for most of it, and then I had gotten married. Shortly after getting married, the owner and my boss started to hit on me. And he was married to my coworker whose office was right next door to me. He was making sexual advancements to me, and I was having panic attacks. And I left, I quit, and sued him. And I won. Yeah, I won. But then in telling my then husband, he was not very supportive. It was almost as if he made it seem like it was my fault, which really pissed me off. But that was something I swept under the rug. Because I was so adamant about, like, I need things to be right with this, guy and the lawsuit and all that. I, like, totally didn't even feel or experience, like, not being supported by my own husband at the time. So then I won that case, and I ended up taking that money. I went to cosmetology school and got licensed through that, and went to worked with Paul Mitchell, went to Las Vegas and did like hair shows backstage, and I had all these really fun experiences. And then then Capricorn energy came in, and I was being too hard on myself again, working too hard, and threw my back out and had to have surgery and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, it was up and down and up and down, but that was a big change, because from the time I graduated high school, I did go to college for photography, but then the times changed, right? No longer nobody was using film anymore, so everything went to digital. I was able to learn, I was paid to learn digital and computers. This was back in 1991. I was on the very first Quark Express and Photoshop and all of those things back in the very early 90s. So I had built myself up from the ground up and had that just completely taken from me. Not only by this boss and this owner of the company, but even the owner of the company that I first worked for, who I'm actually friends with now, so I don't want to talk too much about him, but I was pregnant with my son, and yeah. So anyway, he wasn't very supportive of me being pregnant, apparently. I'm old school, yes. So anyway, this is how, like, life will take you. And it took me into a new trajectory. But then the Capricorn energy, 2008, well, that's when it started. And yeah, so anyway, what are the challenges? What are these challenges trying to teach us now? Making conscious choices to actually address those things that we skipped over, swept under the rug. Consciously choosing to be more structured and more disciplined and more serious, but in a balanced way. Not being too hard on ourselves, not being too rigid, not being too structured, not being hard on ourselves or others. Not being overly serious, right? Balance is the answer. The opposite sign, Libra, balance. Or not the opposite sign, the south node, sorry, from the last lunation was hitting the south node. Anyway, I'm not going to get too technical on all that. Libra is the resolve for these skip steps. Balance, peace, ease, slow down. Take it, take it one step at a time. New moons bring new energy, new approaches. Mars is now in Capricorn, which is helping us move forward more as well. So Capricorn, just be mindful. If you're pushing yourself too hard, or you're being too serious, that brings this oppressive energy, this heaviness. And on the Aries energy, the Chiron energy, just wanting to break free and just wanting to be too loose or too passionate about things, right? So I have two more things I want to share before I pull some cards. The first thing, you remember me taking pictures? Yeah, Steph and I go way back for sure. You were manager, single mom. Yeah, oh, and let me tell you, that was not even like any of the big Pluto changes. I mean, I've had a lot more go down since then, which really pushed me out of mainstream altogether, pushed me out of working for other companies, pushed me out of working for anybody, which was scary. Stability, safety, structure. It pushed me out of the box, out of the status quo, and really into my true gifts. And it has been an interesting ride, but some energy has been really carrying me. When I fall to my knees, like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how I'm going to go on. How am I going to be financially safe? How am I going to have a structure? Something, that faith, that trust comes in and is like, will you just chill out? Life is just, will you just settle down? You are on your path. And when you know, you know. So again, this Capricorn energy is coming to an end. I also want to read about the Aquarian energy we are moving into, because as I was saying, when Pluto moves into another sign, it will take us, now we're going to have a lot longer. Pluto moves into Aquarius January 20th. It's going to retrograde back into Capricorn on September 1st till November 19th. And then it's going to move back into, back into Aquarius November 19th until 2044. So we have that long ride where it's going to take the energy and it's going to make it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And we want to make sure we don't do the same thing with this energy that we did with the Capricorn energy, collectively and individually. You know what I'm saying? I want to read all your comments here. Graphic design was so different back then. Hand draw. Yep, I did all that hand drawing. Yes, typography. Yep. And I went from the basics all the way up to the digital. I just jumped out of the printing industry in 2018. So it's been a long ride in that industry of pre-press and the behind the scenes industry. So the song that's still playing in my head has been very extreme. And not only has this song been playing in my head, I turned on YouTube. I want to say it was last weekend now. And I'm a big music fan. Definitely. So my dad was a Beatles fan, and George Harrison was his favorite Beatle. I'm also a big Prince fan. There was a video that popped up on my recommendations, a tribute to George Harrison with Prince playing this song. You can't make it up. It is While My Guitar Gently Weeps. And I want to read the lyrics just so you get this, put it in perspective as to why this song has been playing in my head. It's not just for me. This is Pluto. This is for the collective. I look at you all. See the love that is sleeping while my guitar gently weeps. I look at the floor. I see it needs sweeping while my guitar gently weeps. I don't know why nobody told you how to unfold your love. I don't know how someone controlled you. They bought and sold you. I look at the world. I notice it's turning while my guitar gently weeps. With every mistake, we must surely be learning while my guitar gently weeps. I don't know how you were diverted. You were perverted too. I don't know how you were inverted. No one alerted you. I look from the wings at the play you were staging while my guitar gently weeps. 'Cause I'm sitting here doing nothing but aging while my guitar gently weeps. Those words are profound. It's a wake-up call for us all. We need to open up our love that is sleeping. And it's nobody else's responsibility but our own to open our hearts, to unfold our love. No longer being controlled, bought, or sold by anyone. George knew. And you know, funny thing is, my dad's name is George. So many synchronicities have been going on literally for me since I got my voice back. Since my voice came back, it's just like mystical, magical wonderland. And it's been amazing. It's been insightful. It has been unbelievable. A beautiful song. Yes. Yep. George was very spiritual. I think that, and you know, Paul McCartney was playing the piano in that video too. I saved it because I played it over and over again. I cried. It gave me the chills. I just loved it. And Prince had this guitar solo. I don't know what year this was, but it was live. It was this live tribute concert, I guess, right? George died shortly after my dad, George, died. So I remember that. All those, yeah, many songs are trying to give people a message through their lyrics. That's why I always tell people, if you have songs that either play in your head or you get into a car or you go into a store and a certain song is playing and it sticks with you, look up the lyrics. Even if you think you know the lyrics, I always look them up because there's a message there. There's a big message there. There's a lot of very important messages in songs for sure. I believe a lot of them know. Let's read from the inside degrees too. I don't know if you guys are familiar with inside degrees. It's similar to Sabian symbol. Channeled messages from Elias Longsdale. Pretty powerful stuff for the 20 degrees of Capricorn, the new moon. Excuse me. Many different perfumes carried by a breeze. We bear within us many past lives, each one complete, autonomous, and emitting its own subtle, special fragrance. There are points along the journey when we must stand together with the whole lineup of our previous selves and follow out the journey they were all leading to. This is a formidable task. There is a lot to live up to. It grants you authority and conviction, and it makes it very hard to get started. In order to get anywhere, you must at times deny the awareness that everybody is there and do whatever you can, apparently on your own. But truly, the depth of experience, the substantive inward development, and the power of your inner drive give it away. You are destiny charged in a larger than life fashion. Being self-possessed is your watchword. There is so much to accomplish, and at the center of the journey lies self-knowledge and the overriding determination to clear the karmic slate, to free up what has been trapped and bound, and to come to yourself afresh. This destiny will is guided, cosmically supported, centrally relevant to your whole world, and you will do it. Turn the darkest of hours into the brightest breakthroughs by refusing to stop anywhere or to back down from your resolve to wake up this time and get on with a greater path at long last. Yeah, let that sink in. Refusing to stop anywhere or back down from your resolve to wake up. Wake up this time and get on with a greater path at long last. No longer letting Chiron, letting our past hold us back, our vulnerabilities, our insecurities. Of course, we're going to still be a little confused, but that's the clarity is generated. It's coming. It's coming. Trust. We have to generate that internally first, you know? Yes, knowing. And then one last thing I wanted to share with you before I do a reading is from this book in Wee Moon. And where is it? I dog-eared it. About what's to come. About the Aquarian energy. Many of us may be aware Aquarius energy is about communication. It is also energy and how we share energy. I changed my WhatsApp name to Darren J. Christ. Aquarius is a fixed air sign. Oh, this is written by, I'm sorry. I want to just give the author a shout out. Laura Mersini Houghton. She's a cosmologist, and it's titled Think of the Universe as a Wave. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I just thought that this would be, I mean, I should read the whole thing, but I want to just give an overview of the Aquarian energy that we're moving into. Aquarius is a fixed air sign representing the principles and patterns of connection and communication, allowing for the unity of all things. The glyph symbol for Aquarius consists of two parallel mirrored images of jagged lines. They depict the phenomena of undulating waves of energy carried as a current, signal, or code through cascades of connectivity that resonate through water waves, brain waves, electromagnetic fields, sound waves, quantum waves, etc. Pluto and Aquarius may test how our communication and power networks and social interactions can withstand intentional misinformation and disruptions. You want to see where this Pluto energy is going to take us so we can be mindful not to go there. Okay? We gotta be smarter than what we're working with now when we have the knowledge at our fingertips. Can withstand intentional misinformation and disruptions. When we lack a true signal without authentic coherence, it can lead to collective disorder and disorientation. We develop personal power and coherence by returning our attention to our inner core more often. Playing to each other's strengths can kindle compassionate regard and promote group resonance. Aquarius energy may catalyze the advancing of human potential by offering the creative visions and intelligence for us to adapt and thrive. We are bearing witness at this critical juncture for survival of life on Earth. In a crucible of polluted, despoiled land and seas with climate chaos stirring the brew, we will find a collective will to choose the values humanity needs to harmonize and rehabilitate the human condition within. Will we? Sorry, let me turn that into a question. Will we find the collective will to choose the values humanity needs to harmonize and rehabilitate the human condition with integrity and authenticity? I'm going to stop it there, but profound. This is where we're going. We got a taste of it. Pluto moved into Aquarius temporarily a little bit last year. And what happened? Suddenly, the internet changed, technology changed, everything is now completely digital, basically, and that's just a little taste test of where things are going. So, but we humans, we have a lot more power than we are aware of. We are not at the mercy of robots. Don't let them fool you, okay? We've allowed things like state and politicians to be the gods and demigods and lost our connection with Source, Great Spirit. Lovely passage, thank you. Yes, that's changing. That's the Capricorn energy, Martin. But we have a chance. I think this Aquarian age is really going to wake up humanity. So you see where humanity is now. I mean, as a whole, as a collective. Wait and see. Things are going to get even weirder and wackier, and people are going to revolt. People are going to rebel. It will happen. And where we need the more of us who are conscious and aware and in our heart need to stay there and not play to any side of the game, but stay centered and grounded, very grounded and rooted in the earth, and stay connected to Source, stay connected to Spirit, stay connected to your heart. We've been tested through this, and we will stand the test of time, for sure, for sure. So, let's get a few cards to wrap this this session up. Trying to see what's calling to me here. Definitely these. Okay. Oh. Been a while. Bear with me. Connecting to the cards. Not everyone is online either. Really need to get back to our roots. We are part of the earth. We are part of the cosmos. And no longer to be bought and sold, right? No longer diverted or perverted. And as it's very obvious that most of the energy has gone to an extreme in Capricorn and turned into, even like where I live, like they're just still putting up condos and buildings, and it's a beautiful, we have like streams and woods and stuff. They're building everywhere. It's all for profit. We have land developers and what are they called? People who just want to make money. They're buying up all the houses and then they're turning them around for double the money, or they're renting them out. So there's a housing crisis where I live, and I think throughout the United States it's that way, where it's very difficult for people to afford to live anywhere if you haven't already established. I feel very fortunate to have bought this home and established a foundation before this got really bad, because my heart goes out to so many people who, especially the younger generations, who are having a really tough time. And it's done on purpose for the younger generations who are just, graduating college or just getting out of high school, putting them into the workforce, and their main focus is on money. It's survival. It's survival instinct, and it's got to stop. It really, and yeah, I'm going to leave it right there. Spreading awareness is all we can do. But, and also the energy that backs that though, because I have a lot of friends who are activists. I have a lot of friends who are passionate about spreading awareness, but I also see them doing it sometimes out of anger, because it is disgusting what we're seeing. And that energy is just feeding the energy of those who are creating it, instead of being in the heart and just get. So we have to be mindful of Aquarius, our energy, and how we communicate, what the energy behind that is. We can have a nice smiley face, but there's an energy backing our words, our vibration. And that is very true. So anybody that is in humanitarian or environmental activism and things, it's a very hard balance to keep, because things become more distressful and frustrating. And I fall into that too. I belong to many groups, especially for wild horses here, where they get rounded up out of their homes, out of their land, and shipped off to be killed. And it's just, all these things, there's just so much that's going on all over the world. And things have to change. They do. They have to change. It's not leaving. It's just not dying. Yeah, so what do we do, Same in Ireland. Nobody can afford homes, and they give the new houses to immigrants. Doesn't bear thought. Interesting. A lot of greed. Yep. Hi, Virgo 99. Not a novelty anymore. Let's hope it doesn't take a whole generation to figure it out. Well, I know. Technology can sit in the drawer sometimes. Tested many times, Darren says. At one point, I thought I was very grounded. Little did I know. Yeah, I know. We all do. Oh, yes. Martin and Darren you guys are both Ireland. You guys should connect. Maybe you're neighbors, like real neighbors. You never know. My 27-year-old son lives with me. I'm happy not to be alone. That's good. That's nice. I wish, my 29-year-old son used to live below me. We bought this house together. It's 2 houses in one. So now we rent out downstairs, but to a really nice younger couple. But they live about 3 hours away from me now. And little did he know, he got swept up into it, and I have to really watch that. And it's hard to see him work his butt off and he's got a good job, but he's not living his life. He's working for what he has. Life lessons, So let's get a reading on this new moon in Capricorn energy. Your girl's 500 miles away. Oh, that's hard. Dublin at the moment, Martin. I'm so happy that you guys can connect, especially you guys over in the UK. This is awesome. What time is it over there anyway? It's got to be pretty late. It's 7:04 here. And speaking of 7 o'clock, we're getting here's another thing with technology. We're getting another big storm. It's supposed to hit here anytime soon. We got hit with a really bad storm on Wednesday night, flooding, trees down. I realized I had some trees down in my upper driveway. I got lucky. I didn't lose my power all night long, but many people did, and they're still recovering from that. A lot of roads closed, and we're getting hit with another big storm that is just about to come through. A lot of water, and I live by 2 streams that will flood. They won't flood my house, but they'll flood the road, and my neighbors' houses will flood if it gets too high. So a lot of intense weather patterns are kicking up again. So That's the other thing. We're not in control. And, you know, Mama Gaia, Mama Earth, she's also a consciousness. And basically, we are just sort of, some people say we're parasites. I don't consider us parasites. We belong to the Earth, but there are many humans that act like parasites on planet Earth. And she is starting to shake us off. She's like, enough, 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 enough. I wish I knew where my ancestry in Ireland was. You know, I could probably ask some of, it's my dad's side of the family that's Irish. But all of the elders are no longer here on the planet. I do have, my dad was the oldest of 8, so I have 7 aunts and uncles that somebody might know. Although when I went to France a couple years ago with my brother, we were trying to find, because my grandfather was in World War II and had landed on the beach in Normandy, and we wanted to find out exactly what beach, because we were there for the 75th anniversary of D-Day. It was interesting how I ended up there. I honestly, the universe puts me in interesting places at interesting times. But trying to find that information was really difficult, and I don't think we ever pinpointed exactly what it was. But my uncle did dig up all kinds of stuff out of an old chest of his stuff, you know. Your grandpa was in Burma, World War II. Yeah, that was an interesting trip, I will say. Well, it ended up, I didn't specifically go there for that. My brother was working. He travels, well, he doesn't travel too much anymore, but he traveled a lot for work, and he was staying in Amiens, northern France, in a beautiful hotel right across the original Notre Dame. And this was right after the Notre Dame burned down. And so this was 2019 that I went. He was like, all I had to do was buy the plane ticket. He's like, come stay with me and we'll do this, we'll do that. And it ended up being the 75th anniversary of D-Day, which is a big deal there. Apparently bigger than I realized. But it was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place to visit. There's the loneliness card. Ooh, I just got a lot of heat. There's a lot of energy swirling around us. I will say that. I've been having a lot of vivid dreams, and they're very informative. The dream I had last night, one of them had to do with people that I didn't realize that I was still holding on to some resentments, I suppose. When I woke up, I was like, I need to forgive some people. They like came to me in my dreams. We are all cousins. Never had a passport. You know, I think mine is still, I don't think mine has expired yet. I could be wrong. It would be nice to travel again. I keep putting that out there. Send me somewhere else. I will get a trip, an unplanned surprise trip somewhere. So we have loneliness. Let me tap into this energy. I just heard you're getting distracted. Message for us all, please. Hey, cuz. I'm so happy you guys are all connecting over there. What do they say? On the other side of the pond? Loneliness. Yeah. We're not so lonely right now. Okay. 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 Oh, lovely. Okay. So here's a nice reminder for us all. Overall, the message is abundance. And about, it says, I am a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical world. We tend to forget this, and this is why the powers that be, why the controllers try to take this power from us mentally and emotionally, because that is our power, our power of manifestation. As I was sharing, the things that I've manifested, that otherwise I wouldn't be able to have the experiences that I've had in life. It comes to me. Not saying that that's for everybody, but it truly can be if we remember that. We are limitless. Alone, not lonely. Yes, very good. And that is true. I know I am not alone. We've had to have some time alone. And now more than ever, especially after these last few days of messages and dreams and songs and things that have come to me, and new people that I am connecting with. I had to go through some things alone and really go through 2020, from 2020 all the way through 2023. There were people in and out of my life, and not to say that they won't be back in my life or not, but I had to really do a lot of things on my own to work through and heal. I've been having so many moments lately that are so profound that it brings me to tears of joy, of relief. Like, I've made it. I feel so much more relaxed and confident in what I'm doing. If I reflect back even this time last year, there was always this underlying tension. Even though I have this very strong will and strong drive, there was this very strong other energy that was like nervous. I'm not sure what I'm doing. And it was a fear. It was a fear of the unknown that I couldn't shake at all. And it was mostly linked to money and Capricorn energy. That's gone. That fear is gone. Sure, I still don't know. None of us know. Even if you have obviously you have a stable job, suddenly your boss can come in and start sexually harassing you, right? And whatever, like, things happen. Pluto's going to take things away when it's like no longer, you're not growing. You're not growing, you're not evolving. You're comfortable here, right? As things we're comfortable in, relationships, all kinds of things. After a while, especially if you're too reliant on it, you're too relaxed, you're too comfortable, you're not evolving, you're not growing. Nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. I used to think abundance meant money. Now I feel like I have an abundance of happiness. It's changing my attitude, lifting me up. Yes, abundance is not about money at all. It is about, yes, happiness. I feel very abundant as well. And it does. It's like that perspective. When you have that shift, it's like, oh, yes, yes. Happiness, enjoying. So back to the reading. Don't forget, and also just the gratitude. It's not out here, but that attitude of gratitude, you can't force it, but I've had so much come over me. And I did have a Reiki session done on me. I forget what day it was now, Tuesday. And I never had anybody do Reiki on me except for my mom. So this was a profound experience. And what came through to her, who it's somebody that I'm really connecting to more and more, was tears of joy and gratitude. And I'm like, oh my God, I've been having that like for the last couple of days, and it's just like every night I'm like, thank you so much, thank you so much. That tears of joy is like, thank you, that hard part of the ride is over. I feel better, I feel better. And just when you think like it's not going to go away, I'm always going to have this heaviness, this weight, I'm carrying this around, and trying to be strong and trying to be brave and trying to be happy. I mean, I'm always choosing happiness, right? But there was this underlying tension, and it's gone. And when that went away, pooh, things started opening up left and right. And just, I feel very, very grateful. Very grateful. Money does nothing. People do everything. Yes, 100% energy can do, energy, no, what? I'm trying to read that. Betsy, that's funny. I never want a boss again. Well, yeah, no, I will not have a boss again, ever. And I've already been shown that. Just have to really trust and you know, put in the work, but not to the degree that I was doing in the Capricorn energy from 2008 to probably till this year. Really, I've been really hard on myself and really tough and really rigid and too much structure, too much. And that I kept meeting a wall of resistance. It was my own. It was in the energy, you know? So humor, lighten up. That's the next part of the message here, is I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. Truly makes a huge difference for us all. And that's where you start to find, so these cards are really, the story I'm telling you, the cards are really just, okay, thank you. I have already shared that message. So basically, yeah, when we're moving through this barrier, we're breaking through a barrier. Many of us, many of us are breaking through a barrier. Me neither. 30 years in the ungrateful machine. I like that. Ungrateful machine. Exactly. No more. No more. No more. No thank you. And you know, I don't know about in Ireland or in the UK, but I know in the United States this is an issue. And this is another reason why many people here stay at jobs that is just taking the life away from them, is for health insurance, what they call benefits. My sister did this, and she was a teacher. I know I shouldn't like be talking about her, but she finally left her job. And she worked through COVID and everything. And she had to go through some tests, but it all worked out, you know. But honestly, it's another trick. It's another trap. And the amount of money that people have to pay to have health insurance, even if it's ridiculous. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Life is too short. Life is too short. It's literally killing people. The stress and what people think that they have to do and go through to survive. It's keeping people in fear and survival mode. Fear. Self-care comes first. That's right. That is right. I haven't pulled these cards in a while. Ace of Cups, self-love. There you go. Self-love comes first, which is part of self-care for sure. Making sure your cup is full That's where the abundance comes in. This is no joke. This is real life. This is real life tarot. I don't sugarcoat things. I'm not foo-foo, woo-woo, none of that stuff. I'm just very down to earth and exactly, yes, I do have otherworldly experiences. Yes, I do communicate with other beings, other energies. I'm extremely extrasensory, yet this is very, very real. Very, very real. Cards are speaking. That's right. Real time. We'll call it real time tarot. Real talk tarot. Eight of Crystals. There we go. We have to make sure that our cup is full and even overflowing. And this is self-love, self-care, fulfillment. As we are deciding what we are building, what we are choosing to build and grow in our life for ourselves. Eight of Cups, Eight of Chalices. Which will be a win-win. I put the 333 hat on. Alive and kicking. When I feel a little connected to the group. Irish in me. I have some Irish in me. Just quit my job of 35 years because of lack of disrespect. Happy again now. Congratulations. Congratulations to you. Real tarot, real talk tarot, yes. All right, hold on. I gotta take care of this person here. I was wondering when that was gonna happen. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. So yes, as we're building for ourselves, yeah, whack. First and foremost, in order for things to be a success, this is the lesson of the Capricorn energy, the lesson of Pluto and Capricorn. In order for things to be a success, we cannot be too rigid, too hard on ourselves, too Capricorn. We have to also take our emotions, our feelings, our senses, our life, and our self-love and our self-care first and foremost. Has to come from the heart. We've got to love what you do. It's got to bring you fulfillment, a sense of fulfillment. And then I'm hearing, if you build it, they will come. Don't settle for less. That's right. Okay. Ooh. And to actually, there's a lot of spiritual lessons in this card. Hanging Man. Have a different perspective than the old. The old foundation is crumbling. We can see it happening all over the planet. This is our time. This is our time to build something from the heart that is not only supportive of us, it is supportive of others, it is supportive of the earth, it is supportive of how we are meant to commune and live and experience life here on earth. It takes strength. It takes strength, endurance, fire. Look at all the fire in that. The tiger. Self-confidence. And really, that fire, we're sort of like burning down everything that hasn't worked for us. It's been programmed and instilled into us. Force fed, I'm hearing. We've been force fed a lot of stuff. It was all an illusion. And we're starting to realize that. A lot of people are having a grand wake-up call right now, too. So, I'm going to get one last message. And these are the cards Martin gifted me. Blank cards, which there's 80 of them. And I have 80 channeled messages on them. I've been using them all week, my readings. And they have been very successful. So we're going to pull, see what comes through from here, what other message comes through from here. Self-reliance, yes. Must have a passion for it. It's love and extension of yourself. Absolutely. We're born, and the thing is, we're born into this lifetime already knowing what it is that we're going to do. We've had dreams, we've played, we've reenacted it as children, probably in many cases. It comes naturally. It brings a lot of happiness and fulfillment for sure. And some people still are trying to find themselves or find that, because a lot of us, we have to lose ourselves to find ourselves. And some people are still finding what, brings them happiness and joy and passion. And that's okay. That's okay. But really, don't put too much stress on trying to find it. Allow it to show itself to you, And there's a lot of things that do start to fall away the more and more you get in touch with what feels right, what feels good for you. I've been on here for 87 minutes already. Oh, wow. Okay. This is just a little FYI for anybody that is still struggling, especially with the Mercury, Neptune. Mercury, Neptune fog. Don't let it get you down. Many people are experiencing either getting sick or just being tired or sick and tired. A little bit of confusion, a little bit of fogginess, like, I don't know, I'm not feeling passionate, there must be something wrong with me, or I don't fall into this category. No. These cards are picking up on those who are not as fiery as many of us are, but still kind of stuck in the fog. It is okay. Don't fall into the victim consciousness. You are not a victim. This is energy. These are transits that are designed to naturally shift and help transform us. A lot of times we don't have a lot of control over a lot of things. And reflecting back on my entire life, when I started to learn and understand astrology, I'm like, I couldn't have made the wrong choice if I tried, really. Especially Pluto, when a course correction is needed, it's going to be made. It will be made. The last card out is forgiveness. And this is what came to me in my dreams last night. Pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to memories and people that are coming up in your radar as well. I've been having that happen too. I didn't even realize that there was some underlying I guess you could call it tension or resentment that I wasn't feeling. But when I would hear a name or have a memory of somebody, I would kind of feel like, ugh, like I'd shake it off. And then I realized in my dream, like, I need to forgive. I really do need to let this go. I understand why things happened and why they were in my life and what they were showing me. It's not about them or it's not about me. I mean, we are also here to serve once we get to a state of healed, but it really isn't about them. A lot of people that came into our lives are karmic contracts. They were signed up to wake us up and show us things, mirror things to us. And so it's really important not to hold on to resentment and don't do, also I'm hearing, don't do the premature forgiveness either, because that will continue to come back around and you'll re-experience, I thought I forgave. And then, Chiron is also showing us those wounds as well, and our insecurities, our triggers, all those things. So that's important to pay attention to. And overall, most importantly, we have infatuation, obsession. Below that is bliss. The message I'm getting here is sort of linked to this forgiveness card. There are some out there who may have some kind of entanglement. This is definitely, we're coming to the end of a chapter or a cycle, big karmic cycle, when it comes to our interactions and relationships and entanglements with other people. If you find yourself, or you find that somebody else is extremely infatuated or obsessed with you, or you're obsessed with them, dig deeper. It's not about what's going on the surface. There's a lesson there. There's something important there. It's just a strong energy charge. There also may be an infatuation or obsession with something that you are having a hard time letting go of. Pluto may be trying to take something away, and it's like, no, no. Enmeshments, yes. These are life lessons, and it's not, see, growing up we had movies, we had TV, we had books, we have all these stories about how relationships are supposed to be and why and all of this stuff, and that is all false. We have to understand the true nature of why we have relationships and connections with people. We meet up with each other to first and foremost teach each other a lesson. It's not really all about companionship, but once you get through the lessons and you clear things up so you're really loving yourself, living from your heart, then we can connect to people heart to heart without infatuation, obsession, playing the victim, codependency, and we can actually team up and work together. That's the new paradigm of relationship. The new paradigm of relationship, after we get through, we're not going to be, also another message, obsessed forever about learning about our attachment styles and healing. It's almost like when we move into Aquarian age, or we're moving out of this obsession with there's something wrong with me, I've got to heal this. No, relax. Flow, go into the flow of life. Life is showing us. It is showing us through everything we interact with and engage with, where we're headed, what we need to release. If it doesn't feel good, dive in, dig in. What's going on here? What is this showing me? What is this teaching me? It's really important to recognize and realize that, because once you get over infatuation, obsession, what's below that? Bliss. And for anybody who has not experienced the sensation of bliss, for some, you can experience the sensation of bliss with another person and then become infatuated and obsessed with them. It's not from them. They are activating an energy that is already within you from the heart energy, from the heart chakra. Then we generate that ourselves through just living. But it is confusing. And we have a lot of distractions and false teachings, and Oh, I could go on and on about it, but what's for you will not go by you. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Thank you, Patsy. That is it. You guys are talking about bicycles and skates. Oh, I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I'm so happy that we're all connecting and have this space to do it. It feels really good. It feels very natural and very fluid. And I feel I'm blessed. I feel blessed and grateful to be on this journey and to be on this journey with you guys, with you all. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you. I think I'm going to go. I want to take a shower before the storm comes because if we do lose our power, I don't have water. So I'm going to prepare just in case it's going to end. And it might not even be anything at all. That was the thing I wanted to talk about real quick. Technology. So I was at my sister's earlier today and I didn't hear anything about a storm coming at all. And I had a message from the electric company, an email from Pico, our electric company, saying, we're still working to clear the trees and the debris. And I mean, we got hit hard of stuff and be patient with us. And here's the next wave. Friday night is another wave of another storm. And I was like, Molly, are we getting another storm tonight? She's like, I didn't think so, but now I hear from like the radar, the weather channel isn't telling you this, but then another channel is telling you this. And I had to like research it and look it up. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's a big storm system coming our way. The normal weather apps aren't telling you that. So that's interesting with the Aquarian age, what you may have relied on for information, especially when it comes to just your weather. I mean, I can honestly be a natural weather barometer, but I was doing too many things. And yeah, I get lazy sometimes and look at the app, like what's the weather going to be like today? It's tricking me. It's tricking us right now. So pay attention. We want to get back to our roots and not rely so much on outside sources and technology for even that kind of information. Just thought I'd put that out there as well. So thank you guys all for joining me and being here and interacting. And I'm sending you all out so much love. Take care. Bye.